Hello and welcome back, everyone. It is first week of March, coming to the end of the first week of March, and we have something exciting. I'm holding something. We're gonna unpack this, and then it's all gonna make sense a little bit more. But today marks the official start of us beginning the fencing process for our new property. We've shown you guys the 40 acres that we have. We haven't shown you, however, a design of what we've come up with for the fencing. So today's the day. So we're going to be going through a little bit what the design is, starting to set out some markers for where the fences are going to go. That's what's inside here. First, I'm going to run you guys quickly through the concept of the fencing that we've come up with. From the very beginning, Yes and I knew we didn't want to have any straight lines through the property. There's a beautiful parkland-like setting here, which feels natural, even though the trees have been planted like in straight lines, which gives it a small sense of formality. It all feels very wild still. And if we were going to put all these square fields everywhere, I think we were going to really ruin the flow of that. So the first thing we knew is, okay, we don't want many straight lines. The second thing was parts of this ground, you're going to see because we're going to go out there and I'm going to show you properly, but parts of this ground are quite wet. So Yes and I are still figuring out exactly, we haven't had horses on here for a very long time, so we're still figuring out, okay, what's going to be usable in the winter, what's going to be usable all year round, what is just going to be really too wet all the time and we're going to have to do something else. So we decided, okay, we're not going to commit straight away to wooden fencing like post and rail because it is a huge amount of money. There's 3.5 kilometers of fencing that has to be done here. The quotations we've received have been somewhat in the neighborhood of 2 to 350,000 euro for all of this fencing. So if we are going to commit to something like that, we need to make sure that everything is going to be usable and that we don't have to move anything, because if we're going to pay that, we're going to pay it once. And also right now there is so much going on, it's going to be easier for us, also for our budget, to kind of break it up into steps. So what we've decided to do for now is to go with a permanent cable fence. That means there is still these beautiful decorative posts with a diamond top, but there is 3 cables running through it that carry the electricity, and they're really strong cables, so the horses, even if the electricity is off, they can't break through them. So it still has like a physical protective barrier, which is important for my stallions. But we don't have to commit to the expense of also having the wooden posts on it. So the idea is we will live with this design, with this type of fencing for a few years, and then once we are ready and we can commit and we've made the changes we need to make, then we will add the wooden railings to it. So we're kind of going to break it up into steps. It will be a little bit more in the long run because we're going to pay for the permanent cabling and for the wooden fence, but it might save us a lot of money by being able to make the mistakes with a cheaper fence. We've gone now with an incredible company called 𝒋𝒐𝒍𝒍𝒐𝒘. We've been in contact with them already for a really long time. We bought all the wiring for this temporary field we made for the horses, and we've been super happy with them. Amazing company, couldn't recommend them more highly, and I'm very excited to see what kind of job they do here with a permanent cable fencing. And we're 2 weeks out from them starting to install, so that's why we are starting today, because okay, here it is. Here's the design. I'm gonna flash up the design of what we're going for. So as you can see, we have several pathways that are running through the fields. It is a really big plot of land, so we need to be able to access all the different fields from different areas. So there is a central Canter track that runs the center of the property, and that gives you access to some of the fields on the interior and exterior of that. And there's also a very long pathway that leads you to the back of the forests of the property. And this gives us the ability to split the fields up even a little bit further, so we have more rotational management. And those fields at the back towards the forest are also the driest. So it made sense for us to split those up into more individual pieces. Now you can see that all the pathways are not straight lines. They're all soft, gentle bends, meandering paths. The central Canter track is the actual like ridden component. Of course, you can ride onto the other section as well, but that's more if you're going like towards a trail ride. It's not connected back to the main Canter track. very excited to share the design with you guys. There's going to be a lot of other elements that come into it, like plantings and ponds and all that kind of stuff. I'm going to talk you through it as we actually go. But the job today is to realistically set out the markers so we know where the road is going to be, because we had the fencing company out, 𝒍𝒍𝒐𝒘, and Michael, who's one of the directors and owner. He said, okay, we need to have some references, because obviously it's such a giant field now. He's like, we need to have some references to go off for placing the fences. So what I'm doing today is I'm going to make the references for the pathways, and then we know that from the pathways there's going to be a certain amount of distance to the fence, and that will be the main reference point. So today I'm just gonna open this box because I actually haven't looked yet. I'll show you guys. I actually haven't had a look yet if these are the right ones. The box is slightly small because these are like flag markers, and I bought, I think, 400. It was just the cheapest thing to actually be able to like put down and see what's going on, but they do look a little small. It's not too bad, I think. So basically, you just stick one of these in the ground with the orange flag, and now we'll do a pathway, and then we will be able to see the shape, if we're happy with the shape, and then I can make runoffs for where the fields start as well. And once Yes and I are 100% sure on this, well, actually, it has to be decided today, because tomorrow our contractor is coming and he's going to be mowing all of the pathways. So then if the flags move or something, it doesn't matter. Of course, there will be plenty of questions that come on along the way, but we will be on site. Now, the only unfortunate thing, and this is the unfortunate thing, is that we have to do this installation quite quickly for the fencing, but we've just gotten this miracle Goldilocks patch of good weather that everything is dry. So Yes is actually not here. He's performing in 𝒋𝒐𝒏𝒆𝒚 in Germany. So we've ran through the whole design and walked it all together, but I'm going to be the one that actually does this part. So it's a shame that he's not here to take part in it as well. But the land is dry enough for us to do the install of the fence now. And we don't know if it will be this dry for how long. It might be that it's 2 months that it's too wet to install, and then we're in May. So yeah, so we're going to be doing it today. So he's going to have to trust me on this. I think he will be happy. I mean, I'm doing exactly what we said we would do. So I've got all of the flags. We're also going to be setting out the perimeter of the outdoor arena, because that's going to also be a reference point that we're going to have to use in order to place the pathways correctly. So I reckon we go out. I'm going to get a wheelbarrow so we can... Well, maybe I don't... Yeah, I'm going to bring a wheelbarrow. I'm going to get a wheelbarrow so I can put these in. That way it's handy. And we're just going to start setting things out. And I'm going to show you guys some drone shots, and we can take a really good look at how this is going to shape up. Things might change along the way. And there is 2 ponds we're going to be placing, which is actually happening before the install of the fences. And I'm going to show you where they're going as well. It's an exciting day. It's a Sunday here. It's really quiet. It's beautiful weather for March. It's like 18 degrees right now. I'm hoping to get some sun today. So we're going to spend a nice day together doing this exciting stuff. All right, let's go. So the first thing we're going to do is mark out where the outdoor arena is going to go. The arena size we're going for the outdoor is a standard dressage arena, so 20 by 60. And we're going to be having an expansion of the brook that's running here. It's going to expand by like almost 9 meters this way. Then we're going to have a road. It's going to be 4 meters wide. We're going to have some grass sections either side. So I'm going to just bump the arena now 25 meters this way into the field. That way we have a nice buffer zone, and we're not going to have any issues with having the arena too close. I'd rather have more space than less space. So I'm going to bump 20 meters out, and I'm just going to measure out 20 by 60 very roughly, just to get an idea. That way we know this structure is a fixed structure and we know how to work around it for all of our other pathways. These are going to be our flag markers. A lot smaller than I actually thought, because when I saw this I was like, oh, it's big. not that big, so I hope I will be able to see them enough because the grass is actually quite long here because this didn't really get cut. You know what, we'll try our best. Let's see. It's not the clearest thing today, but you guys have to trust the process to the eye. It does give a little bit of perspective, and you have to remember tomorrow we're going to be mowing all these shapes, so then it will be much more visible. So bit by bit we will get there. I came out. I'm going now to start to do the canter track. Of course I can't put flags where the horses are right now, but I can do the rest, and then when we will start building the fields closest to the forest, then the horses will move there. This whole field will get removed. And then we can mark this field out for the pathways. We do have to go a bit section by section because we have horses here. But I do want to show you guys the two areas that we're going to be making a pond. And you can see that they're a little bit like low-lying areas. So through here, you can always tell when there's these like little bushes that it's quite a wet area. We do have a fence line that goes through here. This will get removed. This was what all the fences here did look like. It was this kind of barbed wire running throughout the whole property for cows. This whole fence line here will be getting removed, but it will be getting replaced. So obviously, because there's this low spot here that is where like all the stagnant water sits, we cannot do the pond once the fence is in because it's going to be too difficult, too close, and also here it's going to have to get reworked a little bit. So we're taking advantage of the fact that there's no fences now to redo this whole area into a frog pool, which means it'll be about 50 centimeters deep. And what gets taken out of the pond area will be used to build up this area a little bit, so all the water will concentrate more towards the middle. And the same will happen here. You see this kind of like middle section here, it's the same, it's quite wet. I actually did a test hole where there's that shovel. As you can see, it really slopes down here into this low area. It's maybe like 60 or 70 centimeters lower than this side, and I wanted to check where the groundwater level was over here, because that's something quite important for a pond. I wanted to see, okay, if we dig, is there water right here? Like, is the water table already super high? Because this area, I've noticed, stays wet pretty much 24/7 out of the year. So I made a hole to see, okay, if I make a hole, will it fill itself full of water? Safe to say, the answer is yes, because you can see, I'm standing in it now, this is about 20 centimeters, but this hole has not skipped a beat. So what I'm gonna do now is we're gonna start doing pick up the canter track from here, from the fence line of the horses. And there's obviously the corner that goes around and then goes all the way back down to that side. So we're gonna see how close we are coming to this area and how much we're gonna build up that walkway in order to keep that area dry and this area wet. So we'll start marking that pathway out next. that actually came out surprisingly much better than it looked like on camera. It was super helpful being able to have the shapes mode out. I know it's not super clear yet from the footage I've shown you guys how it kind of like all comes together. But in my next video coming up, where we start the fencing itself, I do a much better tour and job about showing you guys everything. So for the sake of not showing everything twice, I'm gonna just let you guys see that in the next video. But basically the whole goal was achieved. For me, it was really important to be able to firstly gain perspective. I know I didn't talk so much about the outdoor arena, but that's because that project is a little bit more down the line. I mean, not so much now, we're a couple of weeks from it. This is Matt from the future. We are a couple of weeks out from the arena starting, but the arena for me was not such a priority, even though it was important for me to mow out the arena to see exactly how big 2060 looked. And if I wanted to see, does the arena feel like it's being swallowed by the fencing? If it's too close, is it too close to the Canter track? Is there enough space for it to breathe? Because there's quite a nice plan going on for the outdoor arena, especially for the landscaping we're going to be doing around it. So we need the space. But once the outdoor arena was mowed, it was clear to me it was in the perfect location. It was in the perfect spot. And then I was ready to begin and start on the Canter tracks. Now, the main Canter track came out really well. You'll see, like, you can kind of see it from the drone footage that first I mowed one area, flew the drone, saw that it was off, adjusted it. It actually took me hours to do this. It was like fly the drone, adjust, fly the drone, adjust. But in the end, it came out really good. You will see it in the next shots that I will show you guys in the next video, how it all came. And we also walk through it a lot, so you guys will really get an understanding of the layout a little bit better. But I'll save that one for the next video. But this is really like the preparation in the beginning stages. As I said, we have absolutely zero reference out in the land because there is only 1 or 2 trees. The rest is just 40 acres of grass. But in the next video, you guys will see not only the fencing go in, we did so much maintenance on the forest in order to prepare for the fencing. I have footage of that too. And we also, those 2 wetland areas, I know I talked about the fact that we would be making a pond, but actually what we're doing, to be transparent, is we're actually more doing maintenance on areas that already were shallow ponds. Because it's not fair to say that we're just creating a pond out of nothing. They were ponds. Over time, there's been a lot of vegetation that grew over it and sediment. So we're just going to be kind of scraping that top layer away. And underneath, there is already a water source, groundwater that's coming up, and it's already always been a pond. We're just going to make it more accessible for wildlife. Right now, it only serves the purpose for mosquitoes, which is not ideal. So we're just going to be opening and clearing that up, and you guys will be seeing that in the next video as well. So lots of exciting things coming up. I'm sharing kind of every step along the way, and this is the first step into making sure that the big equestrian projects outside can begin. This is the first time we're putting our stamp and our mark on anything outside. On the house already a couple of things have happened, but when it comes to the horses, we've really done nothing. So this is the prep work for everything that's to come. And I can see now what we have out here, and I think it's really special. It's come out 1,000 times better than what I could have anticipated. But the fencing video will be coming out very soon, so you guys will be staying up to date on that. It will not take long at all for you guys to see that. I imagine within a week, maybe a little less. But for now, I'm really curious to hear what you guys think of the idea. You guys have to remember, you have to start somewhere with these projects. So I'm just sharing along the way where we started and where it's going. I know it looks super basic from here, but I cannot tell you guys enough how much it helped. But for now, that's it. I want to thank you all so much for watching as always, and I'll catch you on the next one. Bye.